Hey guys, it's Emerson. It has been 3 months since I have modded my SK61 keyboard, and I feel like it is time to get another upgrade. Today in this video, I will be going over the second round of mods I have installed on this keyboard, from mods from PE foam, to films, to upgrades like the aftermarket stabilizers. If you want to see part 1, go check it out on the top right of your corner of the video. The SK61 is a budget 60% keyboard that retails around $75 on Amazon. I have made a video reviewing this keyboard, so check it out if you are interested. Anyways guys, let's get started. So before I install the mods, I first clean the plate. The plate is over a few months has already gathered the debris and hair, and it looked pretty crappy to look at. So I first took care of that. I took out the keycaps, the switches, and then the board and the plate itself. The reason why I have tape on the back of the PCB is that it's the Tempest tape mod, which helps with acoustics a bit. After all that, I removed the stabilizers off from the plate, and the plate is now free. I head to my bathroom sink and let the water do its thing. All done. Now, because I have everything set apart and aside, it is now time to start modding. I wanted to do the stabilizers first, but before I installed them, I first replaced the bandages that are on the PCB in favor of thicker ones. The reason why I have band-aids on my PCB is that because this is a mod that reduces rattling with the stabilizers. The band-aids have lube on them, so therefore I will be replacing them. I also want to add a new mod to the keyboard before adding the stabilizers. It's called PE foam modding. It is a mod where you install PE foam in between the plate and the PCB. Near Lucid has made a great video explaining on how this works, so check that out for more information on this. Basically what this does is mostly an acoustic mod. It makes typing sound deeper and poppier. You will see later on the sound test later in this video. How I installed this is that I get a marker to trace the PCB into the foam so I get an outline to cut. After that is done, I cut holes for the stabilizers. This took me a while because in some instances, either the hole would be small, misaligned, or the stab bar couldn't get in because I couldn't get holes for that either. This would have been easier with screw-in stabilizers because I could have just used them to trace the cut, but unfortunately, the SK61 PCBs does not have screw-in stabilizers. When that's complete, I screw in the plate into the PCB with the foam sandwiched in between. Now that is done, I can finally install the stabilizers. Because of the fact that the PCB doesn't support screw-ins, I bought Durock piano plate stabs, which for $12, it is pretty quality, and you'll see why later. The mods I will perform are clipping, Holy, lube, and I would also mention that the band-aid mod, which I already did perform earlier, which is also considered a stab mod. The first thing I did was clip the stems. What clipping does is remove 2 unnecessary prongs, which causes mushiness, because those prongs are what first create contact with the PCB, and then it flexes when it continues to bottom out. After clipping, I wholly modded them. The wholly mod process was complete hell. I would spend around almost 30 to 50 minutes sometimes because either the band-aids are too big, too small, and most of the time, they just don't stick at all. It was quite frustrating, but I knew pretty well I would reap the rewards after it's done. So I took the time here to deliver good stabilizers. finished modding the stabilizers, it is now time to install them onto the plate. Done. The next part now is filming the switches. How I upgraded these switches is by adding the film and adding a bit of lube to the bottom housing for insurance. What filming does is make the housing of the switch much tighter, reducing wobble and also improving the acoustics of the switch. Here's a sound comparison comparing a lubed versus a lubed and film switch. The film switch sounded a bit deeper if you listened closely. Back to filming the switches, the first thing I did was film the switches to the stabilizer keys, so I could hear what the improved stabilizers and films sound like. The spacebar sounded miles better than it did before. It was a massive improvement. Same goes to the other keys. I was extremely satisfied with the results of the new stabilizers and the films. Now the next step is to film the rest of the switches. This was the second most longest part to modding behind the extremely annoying, tedious process of trying to wholly mod the stabilizers. This could have been a pretty relaxing part of the process, but I modded this keyboard during school days. So I kind of stressed a bit on that. I thought I would sleep pretty late than usual and get pretty tired in the morning. So please, if you're in school and if you're doing keyboard modding, please wait till the weekend to do it. I know you're so excited to finally build or mod your keyboard, but trust me, it's going to be better in the bit of the long term, because it's honestly gonna suck if you're gonna sleep in school, if you're tired in school, you can't focus in school. So I recommend waiting for the weekend to do all that crap, because it takes like almost 5 hours or something to do that, so depends on you though. After finishing the filming process, it is time to put on the keycaps. These are $37 keycaps I got on Amazon, and they look pretty good and fit the keyboard really well. These were a different profile than the SK61 stock. These are cherry profile, as you can see by the different ergonomical design shown here. Honestly, putting on keycaps is the most satisfying part of modding the keyboard, as you are pretty much done with the most complex parts and you are at this point rewarding yourself with something pretty satisfying. And there we have it. The mods are completely installed, and we have come to the part where everyone's literal favorite, the sound test. At first trying out the keyboard, there was a very bit of tiny resistance from before, and the slope felt a bit weird because I was used to a more flatter keyboard, but I quickly got used to it and I really enjoy that backward spacebar. Most importantly, the sound is just so damn satisfying, especially the spacebar. Oh my god, the rattle is finally gone. Finally. Keyboard sounds just the way I like it. Of course, I really enjoy this experience because not only I get quite a satisfaction from this experience, but I'm also learning along the way as I do keyboard modding. If you are thinking of modding your keyboard, I highly recommend it as it drastically changes your keyboard experience, and in reality, it really isn't that hard to do. But it depends on you, by the way, so if you're completely beginner, it may be that difficult, but like, if you keep practicing modding and doing more research, it is really easy, and it takes a while, but it's really rewarding. Although it can get pretty expensive if you keep adding more mods, but some of the mods are pretty cheap and easy to do, and there are some mods you can do like the PE foam mod, the case foam mod, and the band-aid mod, which you can pretty much, you can practically find foam in your house and band-aids. So those are practically free mods you can do if you even have those. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy, please like and check out my other videos if you are interested. Subscribe to stay up to date on the latest content. Follow my Twitter to stay up to date and what I'm doing as well. Anyways guys, this is Immersat, and good.